Quick tutorial on how to customize your type. This is especially helpful for creating logos and just custom type in general. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to create a new document that's 800 pixels by 800 pixels. You can make it whatever you want, but for this example I'm going to keep it at 800 pixels, and I'm going to keep the raster effects at 300 ppi. We're going to keep all the other stuff the same. So go ahead and hit create. And then, so let's just jump into it. I'm going to create some type here. So I'm going to go to the type tool, and then I'm going to click once to create my type. And then I'm going to just type something out. So do my default graphic design. I can hit escape, hold shift, and scale this up. And then, so like I said in my previous examples, default is pretty dangerous, so let's stay away from default. So default, it's going to go to Myriad Pro. So I'm just going to create my type using something different. So let's see. How about Papyrus? Just kidding. Let's just do PT Sans for now. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to duplicate this down. So I'm going to hold Option. I'm going to click and drag down. And I'm going to delete this design right here. And I'm going to delete graphic on the second one. I like to do it this way and then hit escape to just select the text box. I like to do that because I can quickly move this up and down. I can place it in pretty much any spot I want quickly. I don't have to worry about hitting return or doing any of that kind of stuff. So I like that right now. That's not too bad. So let's go ahead and get started on this. I'm going to scale it up a little bit more. So all I did was I click and dragged a box around that, and then I hold shift and I click one of the corners, and then I can scale that up. Okay. So right now this text is editable, which means I can double click on it, I can type whatever I want, and it's going to edit the text. Command Z to get that back. But I can't change any of these little shapes right here because it's still live text. In order to change the shape of your text, you have to select both of them first, or select the text that you want to edit, and then you right click, scroll down to create outlines, and what that does is it takes your live text and it turns it into a shape. So now if I double click on this P, I can move it by itself. I could hit A for my direct selection tool up here, and then I can click on individual points now, or I could delete that whole inside part of the P. Okay, so there's different things you can do once you make this into a shape versus live text. Okay, so now I can, the words are going to be grouped together by default. So if you want them to all be separate shapes, you would just right click and select ungroup. I typically do that at first when I'm modifying each character because I want to change the spacing on some of these. Maybe I want to move them up. So there's different things you can do, and you kind of want them to all be their own, well, they're their own shape obviously, but to ungroup them, and it just helps whenever you try to move everything. So I can close up these gaps. So the spaces in between each letter is called kerning, and the space between this line and this line right here, that is called leading. It goes back to the old type term where they actually had to physically put lead in between characters to add space. Okay, so now I can, let's see, go ahead and hit A for your direct selection tool, and I can go ahead and start customizing this this type. Maybe I want that to be more of not angled, more of a straight line there, and then maybe I want that up here to be more of a straight line as well. So I can do that. So right now I'm making this type my own. So when I say I want something that's more designed out, this is what I mean. We're modifying the default. We're not just typing something out and then calling it good. Okay? So we're actually designing it out. Sorry, my lights turned off and I couldn't see. Okay, so now we can, so like I said, to modify these individual points, you would hit A on your keyboard, which is your direct select tool, and that's this guy right here. Okay, and then that allows you to click on these individual shapes now and move individual points. Okay, so that is how to customize your type kind of just right off the bat.